Hello, everyone. I'm Hayley.
And I'm Kayli.
And today, we're clapping the fuck back.
Uh-oh.
Bitch. Wait, we can't.
Whoa,
Oh my God, that was so aggressive. How do I say this delicately?
We're here to piss off some more superhero fans once again.
More super
or
fans.
We're addressing the hate.
Not even the hate.
God, it's our first one.
I don't even want to say hate. I just want to say awful takes. Terrible opinions.
This is a good start.
Honestly, I wasn't even offended because it was so bad. I don't even feel bad about myself. Nobody made me feel any type of way.
I don't even feel bad about myself.
I don't.
Good luck next time, losers.
You know when you feel bad, like people are hating on you, you're like, oh my God, like, is it me? Like, am I? No, not at all. How do I explain this? I don't think I'll ever take a comic books or superhero fan's opinion because they're just not rooted in logic.
Oof.
They're just not. And I get it. I could not imagine having shit movie after shit movie after shit movie and finally getting a movie that kind of barely hits the bottom of Marvel, especially for DC fans, and finally being excited. I get that. But I'm not where you're at. So I don't have to lie to myself that was a good fucking movie.
Okay, so if you haven't picked up the hints, we're talking about our Superman Fantastic Four video.
Right.
So we're talking about Superman once again. I got my Superman shirt on. Ooh, because I'm a real fan. I love Superman. But yeah, we got a lot of dialogue happening in those comments. And so we're giving Hayley a bit of an opportunity to respond because she didn't get a chance to.
Well, you too. Is it just me?
I mean, I'll be there.
Because you were going back and forth as well. Or you mean you said what you needed to say?
And I will expand on my thoughts a little bit as well. And then we'll talk about our feelings with superhero movies in general as well.
Yes. And one thing I will say, I can tell a lot of people who wrote the comments didn't actually watch our entire video because a lot of them kept complaining. We all just might not. This is just not your genre. We said that. I've stated already, superhero movies are not my favorite.
Yeah.
This is what I understand. I know that generally going in, there are superhero movies that I do like, but generally I am already aware. You don't need to tell me that.
Yeah.
I think we said it in the first 5 minutes. I don't know what y'all are watching. So I will preface. Okay. I don't like superhero movies, not because I don't like superheroes. I generally don't like the movies. I think they're ass.
Oh.
The only ones I generally enjoyed were the Iron Man movies. I did enjoy Dark Knight Rises. There are ones that I think are good.
Yeah.
But majority are absolute mess.
Truly. And I think there's another thing that kind of bothers me about that too, is when I saw a few people say, well, y'all went in not wanting to like this movie. False. I actually like James Gunn's movies. I like the Guardians of the Galaxies, and I was excited to see this one. But, things can happen. You can go into a movie not wanting to like it, and you don't like it. You can go into a movie not wanting to like it, and you love it. These are all possibilities, and vice versa. Okay?
Period.
So I just don't like this whole, okay, then you went into the movie expecting to love it, and you did. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah. What does that mean for you? And I actually said in the video, I actually liked it at first. When it first started, I literally was honestly, I got a little excited because I was I might actually like this movie because I did enjoy when it started.
Yeah.
And then it continued. I was processing it like anybody else would. And then I realized that
maybe.
It was not going in a direction that I personally was going to like. So I never get that. Because like you said, you went into it knowing you're going to love it.
Yeah.
And you did. And you're allowed to like it. I never said you couldn't like it.
No, but
never
suddenly we're not allowed to have an opinion about it.
Never that. I mean, there were a lot of people who did like it. So clearly I am just built different. Okay.
But yeah, so I think that was one thing that really bothered me is people saying, oh, well, you just expected not to like this movie, blah, blah, blah. And it's true. We don't really love superhero movies. We did say that. But we had our own experiences while watching Superman. And then another thing I feel like people don't understand is the word or the phrase, I think it would have been better if blank. For whatever reason, anytime we say anything that could have actually another opportunity or alternative path, y'all like multiverses so much, but as soon as I'm getting a little creative, they're like, that's not what happened in the movie. Right, and that's the problem. Hello?
You're I'm giving suggestions.
Yeah.
Stay with me here. Listen. Watch the video.
We're brainstorming here, okay?
Right.
We're seeing what we would have liked. And
We're storyboarding.
I feel like that's what people sometimes don't understand. They take that as us not paying attention to the movie. But it's I couldn't have made this opinion if I didn't pay attention to this fucking 2-hour long movie. So like, that's what I don't like either. I don't like when people try to say I wasn't watching the movie, because unfortunately I was sad. But anyway, so do you want to address some specific comments, Hayley?
I do. I think there was one comment, and I'll find it, but basically something to the effect of, I had stated that I thought there was way too much going on in this movie.
Yes.
There's like 6 different plot storylines going, and it just seemed very erratic and not put together.
Convoluted, if you will.
And somebody said, oh, that's because they're building it up for the next movies.
Yes.
And I guess I'm just confused, because is there only like 2 more to go?
Right. We can't take our time with it.
What does that have to do? It's the first Superman. And in my understanding, this is introducing another universe of this world. So why on earth are you shoving everything in the first Superman movie? If that's the argument of, oh, it's just going to build. We can't have Superman 2? God forbid you have more than one.
We have at least 4 Iron Mans.
Why do we need to shove it? Or are we just getting literally Superman, and the next movies are just going to be other superheroes, and we're just like shoving a bunch of storyline? Because like, if you think about it, Iron Man had like what, 3 or 4 by himself?
Yeah. And that's what I said in the comments as well. I was like, I think it makes a stronger universe or cinematic universe whenever they aren't worried about introducing this character for this show or this plot for this show. Because some people are like, oh, well, the rift that happened is because it's going to be talked about in Peacemaker, which is the show with John Cena. Fantastic. But we don't actually like need it now.
Well, and that doesn't make a good movie. You can tell me all day, well, this is for this reason, and that's fine. But that's my point still stands.
Yeah.
It just was not good to put everything in one movie, unless you only have a contract for like a few of them.
Then
but
that's
I'm like,
different, right?
It seems rushed, and do we need to do that?
Right.
And maybe you are setting it up. I just don't think it was done well.
No.
Is that okay?
And then I think people are also saying like, oh, well, y'all just like movies that do one thing only. And it's like, no, we like movies that do more than one plot. But the thing is to do it well. And I think that is what we were talking about. There was lots of plots that could have been hammered home a lot better, especially with James Gunn catching fire for this whole like alien subtext that he was like pushing with Superman, right? And then also there's plots of war going on in a foreign country, which is very much what's going on today. So I feel like if he wanted to make stronger points, he could have by using the plot points that he started and then abruptly ended, or fast forward and then we're like here. So that's what I was trying to say. I feel like sometimes I'm talking to a wall.
Clearly we are. A big superhero fan wall.
I know.
Because it was way too much going on. If you have to properly space things out. We cannot have 5 stories. You can, but to me, I'm like, I don't know where to look. I don't know what the main message is. I don't know what's going on.
It gets lost.
And then people are getting on us as well, because I was also confused that they were trying to have him go through identity issues.
People hated that we said that. They're like, well, wouldn't you be mad, or wouldn't that happen to you if his parents, or if your parents did that? And it's like,
but why is this happening now? Everybody's saying, oh, you don't need an origin story. You don't need an origin story.
That's what we're
Motherfucker, we still talking about his parents, and he's still like, oh, do I not know who I am? Oh, deep inside, who am I? Oh my gosh. I'm like, are you kidding me? So that's my other thing. You guys said, oh, we don't need an origin story. And we're like, that's fine. But then if you're going to throw in slight origin elements of like, oh, where does he come from? Who is he? Who are his parents? To me, these are things that Superman would start to think about when he just started. This is not something he would be at this age. Like, he's already with Lois Lane. It's not even they just met. They're already fast forward dating. So I'm like, to me, he's probably 32. Like, he's probably an older Superman. So I'm just wondering why they're trying to shove earlier Superman storyline into him when he's been Superman for a while. And the fact that they made all the population turn against him as if he hasn't been saving them, that's another thing. Had the general population turned against him and he just came out, that would be different.
It would make more sense.
Superman has been here for years, and now everybody's like, oh, boo, boo, he's really here to conquer us all. I'm like,
it doesn't make any sense.
It's just a weaker story.
Yeah.
So either we have an origin story or we don't. I'm not saying he can't have some kind of identity issues, but the ones that he was having seem very adolescent. What about you? Anything else or any other things?
I think I would also like to clear up this whole notion that we like Superman Returns better than this movie. That movie, okay, wait. They said, oh, we stopped listening to you after you said Superman Returns. Listen, that movie wasn't good. I'm not saying it is, but if I would to pick which one I had to watch again, it would never be Superman 2025. That's why it was ranked last. Okay, that's my opinion. But the first one, the original one, is my favorite one, and I feel like Nobody ever had any issues with that one. But because I ranked the other 3, everybody was like, wow, well, I'm not listening to you because you like Man of Steel. I was like, well, actually, the one I liked the most was the original one.
Right.
So
once again, if we
what are you gonna
watch
say
the
about
full
that?
video.
What are you going to say about that?
Right.
You don't have anything to say about that, huh?
Also, do they hate Man of Steel? I thought everybody loved Man of Steel.
No, people hate it. They hate it. They're like, he's a murderer.
I was going to say, weren't you also arguing with somebody about the murder? Because they were trying to say that Superman in Superman 2025 didn't kill anybody because they had managed to evacuate a city of probably like 30 million people.
Right. They said, listen, it started the night before when they evacuated everyone, period.
You need weeks. Because Metropolis to me is like a New York, right?
Yes.
Let me look how many people are in New York.
Please.
Or should
Pull
I
up some
do-
digits.
I can even say Metropolis. How many people live in Metropolis? Anywhere in this fictional city, anywhere from 10 to 12 million people. Okay.
So you just need a night to do that.
So you don't need one night. Have you ever seen a smaller town trying to evacuate and everybody backs up on the highway?
Of apocalyptic movie, anytime that happens, it is backed up and you can't leave.
Right. Especially because wasn't there like a bridge? Like, come on, y'all. So that's why I'm confused. Y'all are sitting here talking about, oh, well, this Superman, he's like a good guy. Granted, he did save some people.
He saved a squirrel, period.
He saved a little child, and I think he saved a woman in the car. Like, I'm not saying that he doesn't go out his way. He's not caring.
Yeah.
But to imply that, like, this Superman didn't kill as many people as the other Superman.
Yeah.
Because he was funnier and smiled more. What are we doing?
That's it, Hayley. That's all it was.
No, that's an absolutely insane take to
No,
say
I
that, oh,
agree.
the city was empty.
That's why I also said, well, then I can assume that the city was empty because most of those buildings, I didn't see anybody in them.
No blood, no nothing.
So
Man of Steel.
I don't remember. I didn't watch the second one, which is like the Batman versus Superman movie, which I think picks up right after this one, Man of Steel. But apparently there's some cult thing that happens or religion thing that happens in that movie. Maybe that's when he gets in trouble for killing a whole bunch of people. But in Man of Steel, I don't remember body bags. I don't remember people dying. I truly, truly don't. But if we're going to say building destroy equals lives lost, then this also happened in Superman 2025. That's what I was trying to say. But people don't like him because he's more serious, which is fine. I enjoyed that movie more than this one because I watched... So Superman, the original one, Superman Returns, and Superman 2025 are literally almost the exact same story. It's Lex Luthor trying to destroy the world over and over and over again. Man of Steel was the only one with Zod in it. And I was like, wow, different. And also I was like, I would watch that one again.
Well, to me, the storyline...
Is it my favorite? No.
Right. And to me, the storyline was a little bit more interesting. I could
agree.
see what was going on. It was like a civil war almost of like their people. And then I guess Lex Luthor, like he just wasn't giving me... he wasn't giving good villain.
In this movie?
Yeah. And what were they saying? Because we basically said that his only gripe was he just didn't like Superman. And then the comments are trying to act like he was some deep guy. I mean, he wanted land. He wants to take over stuff. I guess Superman is his arch nemesis.
Yeah.
I guess.
Which
But
is
I'm
fine.
sorry. I don't think Lex Luthor was some kind of a great character. Maybe he does that in all of them, and that's just who he is. And if that's just who he is, then it is what. Okay.
To be fair, it is very similar between the 1975 one, the Superman Returns one, and this one. Lex Luthor is literally like, I want land and F Superman.
And if that's who he is, then period, queen. I think I keep just going back to the Justice League animated series.
Yeah.
Where I feel like things were much better. That's why when they keep saying that like Superman is just this goofy guy, a lot of the Superman movies I've seen have been the animated ones. And in those animated ones, he's generally not portrayed as like this fun-loving, funny guy.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just confused why everybody is just so, or like, oh, it's just not accurate. It's not accurate. But every time I see stuff, I'm like, most of the time they're not making Superman that way. So I have to believe that there's a good amount of material where he's not acting that way.
Yeah.
I even watched the Red, what is it, the one where he's...
The Red Sun.
In Russia instead? Yeah, I watched that one. Like last weekend. Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I wanted to watch it. I didn't get
You
to
should.
listen.
It has like interesting, it brings up interesting questions. Because obviously he's in Russia and he's fighting for Russia, but he's also trying to fight for everybody else. But in doing so, he's finding out that like everybody in all the other countries are also kind of bad. Like I'd say it's pretty good.
Interesting.
I don't mind the animated ones. That's the crazy part. I don't hate those.
Yeah.
I think they're better in my opinion. But I've never seen a goofy Superman in those. So I guess I'm truly confused as to what they're referring to, but I don't read the comics, so I'm sure maybe in the comics he's a goofball everywhere.
Right, and that's fine. I mean, even in the original Superman, he is corny, which is fine. I didn't mind it in that, but it's just like it didn't land for me, and that's the only reason why I said I didn't love it. I don't mind a corny or goofy superhero. I don't think that's a problem. But there's two things I wanted to go from there. One, when people say that this is a comic book movie, I really don't understand what that means. Are you saying that this is like specifically based on one comic book series? Then fine, that's great. But there's so many different comic book iterations and movies and shows and everything of Superman that it's kind of crazy to be like, well, there's only one true Superman. So the other movies didn't follow that, so it's not as good because blah, 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 blah. And some people are saying that Man of Steel and Superman Returns like set back Superman like 50, I don't know. They're being kind of dramatic. They're like, they did damage to the character.
That's crazy.
It's okay. Anyways, so I don't really understand what that means when it comes to Superman movies. I kept asking, I was like, so what do you mean? Is this a specific comic book, or is it comic booky because he's like doing so many different things? It's like almost like reading a comic book where you could flip through and there's so many different stories happening at once. Maybe that's what you mean, which is fine. But I think there's something to be said about enjoying a movie for the movie itself, bare bones, whatever, and enjoying a movie because of the characters. So if you like Superman, that's fantastic. If you really like this iteration of Superman because you didn't like Man of Steel, that's fantastic. But what we're talking about is the issues with the movie. I actually don't give a fuck about Superman. I don't care. I didn't like the movie. The movie itself was just not good. If we're talking about plot, specifically, it's weak. It's muddled. It's not really good.
Sorry, plots.
Plots.
All 8 of them.
Exactly. Emphasis on the so that's what I'm trying to like talk about. Like that's my issue. I think that it was just messy, and I feel like people are just saying, "Oh, well, I can't trust your opinion because you think Man of Steel is better because of the super." I don't care about Superman himself. The movie itself is not good. That's it. That's all I was saying.
Right. Regardless of any other movie we've seen.
Yeah.
Superman related or not.
Oh, it's just felt so invigorating though to talk to people and to be like, well, man, thank God I watched some of those movies, because somebody was like, well, in Superman Returns he leaves for like 15 years because he can't take the stress of it, and I was like, well, actually I was like, this is why I watch the movies, and fuck y'all for saying I don't pay attention, because I do. How would I know?
Right.
And also, I hate to say it, but Superman is a Jesus figure in almost all of these things.
What do you mean? Like he's the savior of the people, and people can't trust if he's really a God send or not.
Exactly. Literally the light, the way. That's what they call him. He's saving humanity. Not to bring up, his parents, but they literally sacrificed their only son to Earth.
Right. I mean, I could totally say it. He's like the American
Jesus
guy. Right.
Exactly. American Jesus.
The American guy.
But like he's the first superhero made way back in the day. You're telling me they weren't trying to say something about how his whole thing was like truth, justice, and the American way. Like this is hello?
His
feel like I was going
uniform
crazy.
is literally, is there white in there? Because it's definitely red and blue.
It is, yeah.
Giving American.
Well, he is white. But I was like, no, like he is kind of like Jesus in almost every iteration. He's here to save humanity. Who does that?
He's misunderstood.
Jesus does.
He almost loses, but then he prevails.
Exactly.
Justice.
Because of Jesus.
And the only reason why he is the way he is because he's white. Imagine if Superman came down from another planet and wasn't white.
Boy, criminalized immediately.
Literally. It wouldn't work. The American people said no.
Exactly.
You literally have Wonder Woman, who's from another island, white as hell.
Yeah.
Thank
God for it. Thank God for it.
And
she would not be treated the same.
She's literally also damn red, white, and blue, fucking stars. Don't she have stars on her ass?
Yep. Listen, one of the OG superheroes. So of course she's gonna like be a representation of America.
Yeah.
Because that's who made
That's
him.
what it is.
Which is fine.
A little extra fluff in there. Well, one thing I did want to also say is people were kind of getting on my ass. I talked about how I thought the movie was goofy.
Yes, you
and
did.
somebody said, oh, something to the effect of, I'd rather have a goofy superhero movie than a serious one. When I say goofy, I meant that derogatorily Okay. I don't mean like goofy fun. I meant goof. It was a goof. The movie was not funny to me. And it kind of irritated me because to me, some of the most serious point, this is my thing.
Yeah.
When you're having a superhero movie, you can make it more goofy. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form, every superhero movie has to be serious. I'm saying some of the better ones tend to be more serious or know when to be serious in appropriate moments because it allows for the more serious themes, the more important themes to really shine through without the interruption of jokes and goofiness. And one thing I didn't like about this movie is the way they treated the war aspect, the war plot. They treated that as like a secondary third subplot. But when you have people going through those things in real life in this moment, and you're treating that as like not a real main plot, and then at the end, when the Justice Friends or whoever the fuck they call themselves, Green Lantern, when he came down to save the day, immediately it's like funny.
Yeah.
That creepy mug is what you want representing the Justice Gang?
Justice Gang? That's a cool name.
They're in.
And when he comes down, he's, don't fear, I'm here. He's not Superman, but he comes down and then his Green Lantern hands come up and it's like middle fingers and it's like funny. And he's coming in like, yeah. guys, I'm here. And it was like a goof moment.
Yeah.
It's not serious.
Need to be. Yeah.
These people were about to face being annihilated, being torn up. There's a kid in the front lines. Like they are about to be attacked and slaughtered.
Yeah.
And then you come in and make a light of the situation by throwing in the comedic relief that is the Justice League. It didn't land for me. And it was kind of disrespectful to me. I'm like, this is a serious moment. Y'all threw the sun. I kind of almost forgot about the storyline because Superman's fighting Lex Luthor, if we're being honest. And then at the end, I'm like, oh yeah, how is he supposed to get back and save these people? But then he doesn't even save them, which was a big point in this, is that Superman had saved them earlier and it caused global issues. And then at the end, he doesn't even like come back to like full circle that plot. And then we're just back and then it's jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious? Like, to me, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a goofy movie, then leave the serious themes out of it, especially things that are happening right now. Like, that's what I just don't understand.
Yeah.
And they have the audacity to be like, no, he's a goofy, funny guy. Then don't. That's what I'm saying. Don't throw it in there.
Or just like read the room for when he can be goofy and when he can't be goofy. Yeah.
Or exactly. Yeah. Or if the Justice League comes through, it's a serious moment and these people, like, it's just touching. Like, I just kind of felt like
it could have been, but it was a joke instead.
It was. They're joking. He's like, throwing up the middle fingers and hi, I got it. And just, coming in slaughtering everybody like, glad I showed up. That would have been really bad, And then he's like cracking jokes with Element Man and they're all like, yay. It just was so rudimentary. Like, it just looked...
It's giving Disney Channel.
It was. And not in a good way. Because there's good Disney Channel and this was like bad.
Not.
Like, I don't know. And I think that's what I meant about it being super goofy is on top of the fact that I don't think a lot of the jokes landed, I did think that there was no need for y'all to then insert very serious topics if you're not going to back it up. You didn't have to throw them in there. It was just like let's just put that in there because it's hot right now. We'll throw jokes around it. And then they kind of made the leader of the evil people, he was kind of a joke too. And then his death was a joke because Hot Girl had a funny joke to say when she killed him.
I'm not Superman.
I'm not Superman. I'll let you die. Caca. Like, is this a joke? What are we doing? So I'm sorry. Like, if that's what you like, I guess. But that's why I'm like, we need a little bit of, how do you even say, decorum? Like, have some kind of sense to put in appropriate serious moments. And that, to me, this movie did not have it all. It would be like they're almost there with the serious moment and then jokes, goofiness, ridiculousness.
Yeah.
So
it undercuts it for sure.
It does. Sorry to rant.
But no, that's a good point. And I know some people were saying that because we brought it up that was an issue for us, that Superman wasn't the one to save the day at the end of it. And they're like, well, it shows that he's inspiring other superheroes to do their job. But like but there's so many,
we don't get that.
We don't, because there's so many, that could have been a moment, sure. But it's not earned. Like, nobody ever talked about them ever feeling a different way about Superman and what he was doing over there. You know what I mean? So like anytime they talked about Superman when he wasn't in the room was when Lois Lane came over and was like, hey, can you save Superman? Because he's like gone.
Right.
And they're like, that guy's a weirdo. And then they save a country. So it's just like, it doesn't like add up to
There's no
show
evidence to what you're trying to make an excuse for it, but there's no evidence implying that this was a sentimental moment with them backing Superman.
But it's there exactly. There's no evidence for that.
No.
And so it could have been that, but it didn't feel that way. Instead, it felt like what you were saying, a punchline. It's a joke. It's not about the actual story. And that's what our problem is. It would have been way more impactful if Superman himself would have saved the day, because that's the most important storyline that we had in this movie. Lex Luthor splitting the earth in half again is not important.
Right. Him opening up the multiverse of this.
So we gotta have a plot line in Peacemaker, a show that who's really watching.
Skipping over the biggest plot point is people are being killed and no one's doing anything about it except for the superheroes.
Exactly. So I feel like, I don't mind a superhero themselves being goofy. I think that's fine. I like Spider-Man. I like Deadpool. I like these things. But like I think the issue is that they don't know when to stop. They don't know how to read the room, which I get it. Me too. But I think it would have been better if some of these topics were handled with a little bit more care.
Right.
Instead of, it felt more like they were putting a lot of stuff in here just to prove like, oh, hey guys, I'm on your side. They're doing the bare minimum.
The popular, like, oh, we just need to get this in here.
Yeah. But
they,
instead of like making a real stand and real message, talking about how aliens are real people here too, and that they deserve a place here, or saying that people getting annihilated just because they're different
or on the land that you want.
Right. So like, I just feel like those topics being in this movie and then being handled with the punchline at the end is what you're saying. It's disrespectful.
It was. And I cannot tell you that's a good movie.
Yeah.
You could have did anything. That's my thing. Y'all could have, there's so many storylines you could have
we could have just done it with Lex Luthor splitting the world in half.
Right.
We didn't have to have this whole war dialogue that we had either.
If you're not going to take it seriously and
then
you're not going to give it the respect that storyline deserves, then don't use it.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think even in Iron Man, they had similar themes of like, he goes over there, he's in, I believe, somewhere, Middle East, and he realizes that his weapons are being used for mass destruction. And he goes through this whole character development change by the end of the movie because of the experience he went when he was there. Yeah. Like, to me, Iron Man is a great example of, obviously Iron Man, it can be a funny, sarcastic character. There's a lot of funniness in the movies, but when it was time
to be serious,
it was serious. And it truly changed Iron Man. By the end, he's like Iron Man, right? Yeah. Like, beginning, he's a woman, this and that, doesn't care about life, nothing to live for. And at the end, he finds his purpose of like, I know what I'm here for.
He goes on an arc.
But a
well-deserved arc.
Right. But honestly, what was Superman in the beginning, besides at the end when he kind of, I guess, came to terms with what his parents said? I guess he's like, I really am somebody. But was saving the earth years before that not? I didn't see the growth. There wasn't a lot of growth.
There wasn't.
It was him. There could have been a ton of growth. He literally fought his clone. That could have been a whole nother storyline too. And we talked about that, about wrestling with his identity. If we're going to go that route, okay, let's do it.
Yep.
But, he's just getting beat up by somebody throwing out, controller combinations.
1A, 1A, 1A. Yeah.
It didn't land. The movie. It just, I think it could have been a good movie.
I agree.
It had the material.
Yeah.
Just didn't spread it out evenly. Didn't do it right. It just did not land for me.
Yeah. And I think I want to make it clear. This isn't Superman specific. This isn't just about that man being trash. Nobody said that. This movie is just not good. That's the difference.
I don't mind the character of Superman.
No.
I don't mind watching Superman movies in general, or just in general superhero movie stuff. A lot of them aren't my favorite, but there's a good amount of Marvel ones that I liked. I do like a lot of the animated ones. So I don't think it's just us hating. We just hate superheroes and we hate their storylines. It's just, 2025 and we have all this money and you have access to
be better.
That's another thing. I'm going to hold you to the standard that you're at.
Yeah.
You don't get to have access to millions. You get the access to the best actors, the best writers. You have budget beyond belief. Mm-hmm. And then to me, you come up with something that to me could have just been so much better. And maybe they have too much coming in. Like the investors want this and
so they have to
want this and
go for their whims. It's true.
Right. Like I could see how the movies start to, at the end, transform into something that's not very good because there's too much intentional.
There's too many chefs in the kitchen.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to push whatever it is they're trying to push from every which direction. Yeah. So I do understand and give it that, but it's like at what point are we going to be honest and say this is not good?
That y'all deserve better.
Right.
You do.
These could be so much better.
Yeah.
And we're still here with the worst CGI I've ever seen.
So, Hayley, to wrap this up, tell us about, mine's shorter, so I guess I'll go first. But just to give you an overview of my relationship with superheroes, I don't have one. I never really enjoyed superhero movies. It's the same way I feel about action movies. It seems very repetitive. Listen, and I do love horror, and it is repetitive. Mind your business. But with superhero,
But it's just your thing.
It is my thing. But I'm still always open to watch something else. I do live with a whole other person who has their own likes and opinions, so I'm going to go see what they want to see. So like I never had a relationship with superhero movies, but I think the thing is like I'm here because I don't have a nostalgic background. I'm here just for the movie itself. Okay, what is this movie going to do in the 2 hours that I'm here for? And if I like the ride, I like the ride. If I don't, and I don't. But I feel like DC keeps getting shitted on, and they don't have the movies for these superheroes, and they keep starting over. We have different versions of them, and nothing is really landing. So it is a little disappointing to see. Tristan walked out of that theater. He's like, man, I guess I'll wait 10 more years and see if we get a better Superman. Right. Because he's a fan, okay? Some of y'all were coming for my fiance, and you hurt his feelings.
Yeah, I don't know why. My man loves superhero movies, watches all the animated ones, reads comics, tells me I'm a big hater, and still didn't like this movie.
So we can't be crazy. Okay?
I'm not. He even said, in this moment, I am not being a hater. Am I hating more than most still?
Of course.
That's who I am.
But Hayley, tell us your background with superhero movies. Are you a bona fide hater? Do you hate superheroes?
No, like I said, I think I more so grew up on the Justice League and like the Cartoon Network Boomerang shows. So clearly those are a different vibe than what I'm getting from the superhero movies. So maybe I'm just the animation girl.
Yeah.
And I just need to stick to that because I much prefer them. They have way more interesting storylines. They're a lot more adult. They have adult jokes, adult themes.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes these are giving like really kid friendly, which is totally fine. Like obviously you want little kids to go see Superman. I'm not mad at that.
Of course.
But maybe I just have to reckon with myself and go, hey, I think DC does really well with their animated movies and I should stick there. Because clearly what I'm trying to get, the same vibes I'm trying to get from those movies, it's just not working. It's not happening. So maybe that's for me.
Yeah. I think what you said at the end was very impactful to me in the way where it's like, oh, that is what it is that's bothering me. I don't need a serious movie, but I think we need to differentiate them or learn the lanes of when to be funny and when not to be. Because I like having little jokes here and there and then talking about something serious because I like those types of themes. The reasons why I don't really like superhero movies is because they're not grounded in reality. So whenever they did bring Superman to court in Batman versus Superman, I was like, yeah, period. Because this man's going around destroying public property and putting millions at risk.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, if this was real life, somebody should be saying, hey, maybe don't. So I like these conversations where we talk about them in the real world setting. I think those are fun and interesting. And maybe that's just not. And so, that's just my opinion. You're not a bad person because, you have a different opinion than someone. Shout out to Darren, friend of the podcast and supporter. He might not agree with our opinions, but he still watches and supports the girlies.
Right.
There's a few comments in there that were like, y'all are so beautiful, but this is the worst review I've ever seen. I don't understand that.
Also, we don't give a fuck. You don't have to tell us we look good.
We know.
Right. Y'all are beautiful.
Hey, ladies.
Loser. Yeah. Y'all look good. Terrible. Well, they say women shouldn't talk. That's what they think.
That's what it is. They
said
said
y'all
women
are
should
cute,
be seen, not heard.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck.
So, and there's another one where it's like, this was a fun but grating listen. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about
Honestly,
that.
I'll take that. I will absolutely take that. Because you don't have to agree with me. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
I like to have a conversation, and I appreciate the conversations we did have in the comments.
For those who are being somewhat nice. Like, some people were actually really irritated. This is all fun and games, guys.
Yeah.
Trust me. We're not solving any world issues here. The big box movie theater, they still make a ton of money. We're good. We're still going to work.
Listen, and I do want to say one other thing, and then we'll get out of here.
Right.
I understand. I want you to know, I understand. There are monkeys in this movie.
Right.
There are monkeys in this movie that are trolls. I understand. They stir up hate. They started the hashtag super shit. I understand. I want you to make sure that you know that I understand this. I just want to warn people in the future to maybe second guess if you should put monkeys in the comment sections of any kind of video, especially when women, might look racially ambiguous. You might not know, but we are mixed. We are half black. And so seeing that we are the monkeys was
Crazy word. Took me a second. I said, who's a monkey, bitch?
But I get it. I understand what you're talking about. You're talking about the movie. I know that. I know that. But I just want to implore you to maybe refrain from saying that racially ambiguous people or people in general look like are the monkeys or whatever. I would just refrain from that.
Period.
I understand. I don't want this to come out being like, oh, well, Kayli thinks that this person's racist. I don't. I know exactly what you're talking about. However, when I first saw the comment saying that we are monkeys, I was triggered. Well, anyways, that was our part 2 that I never thought we were going to do. But I had a fun time. And I think we had to cut some stuff out from the original conversation that we had about Superman because we also were squeezing in Fantastic Four.
Right.
But I'm glad that y'all stuck around and talked to us. It was kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was great. Like I said, we don't have to agree, but I genuinely, gosh, am curious as to why people think the way they do. So I personally like engaging in conversation because I'm like, why did you like the movie?
Yeah.
Literally no shade, no hate. I'm not going to sit here because there are movies I like that other people don't like too. So
Poor
I
Things
get
being
it.
one. Yes.
We already talked about that. Kayli watches Nicolas Cage out the ass. Bully her.
Oh my God. I bought another Nicolas Cage DVD.
That's what I'm saying. We all have our things. So
we do.
To me,
And
it's all
that's fine.
love. I think it's fun. I like to rage bait
Yes.
my boyfriend, and he'll rage.
Period.
Anyway,
But I just say, try to keep it. I even said that at the end of the other video. I said, don't be mean in the comments. And
be respectful.
some people were a little rude. That's fine. But anyways, if you like some working girls just making videos and sharing their opinions, God forbid,
If we're allowed to.
women sharing opinions,
Ooh-wee.
not in this world, then follow us on Instagram at Hayley and Kayli. We also have a TikTok at Hayley and Kayli. Hayley, what else?
We have a YouTube channel, as I'm sure you know, at Hayley and Kayli, where you can watch our beautiful faces, allegedly, sources are saying.
Some people say. We'll put the one quote up here.
Boy.
Beautiful girls. Terrible videos.
Terrible opinions, as per usual. But yeah, we also have, you can listen to us on Spotify. I was going to say Spodcast.
I like Spodcasts.
That'll be our next business. Okay. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, we should be there. And then we have a second channel at Hey and Kay, where this is a complete derail beauty products.
Yes.
So
Nothing to do with Superman.
don't go over there.
Anyways, we don't know what we're going to be talking about next time. But hey, join us for the ride. Comment down below how much you think we're awful. And we will like it and respond.
Right.
Bye, Superman. Ta-ta. I hope to never speak of you again.